Hello friends, welcome to Poonam's Kitchen. Today we are going to make the simplest makhani gravy. I'm going to make paneer makhani, but you can add chicken to it and that will be butter chicken. For that I have taken a big cube of butter, as the name says, butter chicken, so I need to have a lot of butter and ghee in it, or paneer makhani. So makhan is again butter. So I'm going to add a little bit of ghee, and when I say little bit, that would be around 1 tablespoon. There it goes. Be generous with your butter and ghee portion size, and once it melts, I'll add a little bit of cumin seeds. Cumin seeds are optional. If you don't want to add it, don't add it. But I like the flavor of cumin, so I'm going to add that. Now, once my cumin starts to crackle, let's give it a nice stir. I will add onions to it. So I have one big bowl of, which is 2 huge onions, and I have chopped them. I have added onions to my pan and I'll let it simmer for a minute or two. I don't want to get them golden brown because I'll add tomatoes before that happens. If I add tomatoes before it getting golden brown, the onions will give a different flavor. Give a nice stir to my onion. And as I said, this is a very simple recipe, so there are not too many ingredients. So it's very simple, just mainly onion and tomato. If you want, you can add a few cashews, but I don't add it because I really like it makhani or buttery, so I don't add that. With cashew, I make a different gravy. And while my onions are getting a little bit done, I have one big bowl of tomato puree, and I just blanched the tomatoes. So I put tomatoes in hot water, took them out, took the skin off, and then grind it. So it's very nice and fine puree. If you don't have time to make that, you can have it from the shops, and they always have tomato puree. And I have half a kilo of paneer, which I have already cubed. So these are the main ingredients. And while my onions are cooking, I will add big 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, and I have ginger paste that I'll add a little bit later. So this is my ginger paste, and I'll add to it. Now my onions are getting done, so another 1 minute and I'll add tomato puree to it. So if you look at, my onions are still white, they haven't started turning golden yet, and I don't want it, as I said, I don't want it to turn golden because I want, when tomatoes and onions, but they mix together, they give a different flavor. But I don't want that rawness of onion, so that's why I'm just making it translucent. So once it reaches that stage, that's where I will add my tomato puree. If you have whole ginger, you can add julienne of ginger, but I have ginger paste, so I'm going to add ginger paste to my onions. So just look at that. This is when I'm going to add my ginger paste, and I'll give it a nice stir. So if you look at, my onions are looking nice and shiny, and they have enough butter and ghee in it. And to this I'll add tomato puree, and this is almost from half a kilo of tomatoes. But if you go a little over, doesn't matter, because we will add bit of sugar to adjust that tangy flavor of tomatoes. So in goes my tomato puree. And again, let's give a nice stir, and I'll let it cook for quite some time. Once they cook and leave that oil or ghee or butter, that's when I will add my other ingredients. So I'll let it boil. Let's say boil it for around 10 minutes to get all the flavors and all the smoothness we want from our buttery gravy. Now my tomatoes are leaving fat, so I'll give it a stir and add few spices to it. And as I said, this is a makhani gravy, so it should be really nice and smooth. So we are not going to add too much of spices to it. I'll add red chilli powder, so that is to your taste, so you can always adjust that. Little bit of turmeric. Turmeric will give it a very nice color, but we don't want it yellow, so I'm not adding too much. So it's just this spoonful of that. Salt to taste. And now I will also add 2 teaspoons of sugar, and because I have so much of tomatoes, so tomatoes will make it a little bit sour, so to balance that flavor I'm adding a little bit of sugar. Again, you can adjust the amount of sugar to your taste, how you like it. And also I'll add a little bit of garam masala and a little bit of kitchen king masala. And when I say little bit, it is approximately 2 teaspoons. And I'll give it a nice stir, and I can smell all the spices and tomatoes and onions. And at this stage I'll add a little bit of water because I want it running consistency. So if you look at my gravy is leaving fat, and I'm going to add water to it, and that will boil as well, so that, and you can add water later on as well after grinding if it's not enough. So it's not hard and fast rule that you add it only now, but I am adding now, and this consistency is still little bit thicker, so I'll add another half a bowl of water to it. So I'm going to add another half a bowl of water and let it boil properly. That's the consistency I want, because once I grind it, it will be just the perfect consistency. So let it boil. Once it boils, I will let it cool down and then grind it. While my gravy is getting done, I have roasted a little bit of fenugreek leaves and crushed them. And once you roast it a little bit, it gets really nice and flavorsome. I have turned off the heat and I'll let it cool down now. Now it's time to grind the mixture. So and now this is ready. So this is my gravy, and I'll pour it into the pan. So it will start splattering as soon as you put it. So I'll lower the flame so that it doesn't splatter on me. All right. So I'll wash my pan and add another bit of water. So I'm going to add this. So it was very little, just to rinse through the jar. I'll give a nice stir because I just added some water, and let it boil, because the water will cook with it and it will become part of the gravy. Otherwise, if you don't boil it, you can taste the rawness of water. There we are, it's boiling, and to this I'm going to add my paneer. So there it goes. Look at the colors, it looks so nice and orangey. Let's mix it. You can give any shape to your paneer. I just cut it into cubes, that's so much easier. But if you are more into, then you can cut triangles if you want it really restaurant style, but that wouldn't impact the taste. So that's how it looks. To this I'm going to add a little bit of cream, and that cream will give a different dimension to our gravy. I'll add 1 tablespoon of thickened cream, and again give it a nice stir. And if you look at, the gravy is changing its color and becoming, and now after adding cream it looks more buttery. And look at that, look at the color. And to this I'm going to add 1 big tablespoon of coriander powder, and again give it a mix. And look at that. And my final thing, I'm going to sprinkle fenugreek that I have already roasted and crushed. So fenugreek leaves give a contrasting color to my gravy and nice aroma. Some people, they like makhani gravy a bit sweeter, so you can just add more sugar to it. So it's just up to you how you like it. Here we are. Now I'm going to serve my makhani gravy with paneer, and to decorate it I'll add a little bit of cream, and the best way to do it with the tip of, that's how I want it, with the tip of a spoon, and then just put a little bit of butter in it. As I said, because it is buttery or makhani gravy, so no matter how much amount of butter you add to it, it's not going to be too much. Thank you for watching my video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.